Hi, I'm Ali Morn from People Puzzles, and we've put together this short presentation to help you think about when you might need to invest in an online HR system. We work with lots of growing businesses in the SME and mid-tier market who don't often have an internal HR resource, which means sometimes there's nobody to think about these things. So here are our thoughts on it. We think that as businesses grow, they hit certain points where they need some HR intervention. At around 10 employees, you've outgrown just having systems where an Excel spreadsheet will do, or knowing where everybody is every day just works. So at around 10 people, it's a good time to start thinking, what do we need in order to be able to grow to the next level? Around 35 people, you'll probably be thinking, actually, I don't know what all my staff are doing with their time anymore. That is when companies often introduce a layer of middle management, and management team meetings are a really good way to organise that. The next growth point that we talk about is around 80 to 100 people, which is often when you need more than a management team, you need a comprehensive board of directors. But today we're talking about the administration needs. So around 10 people is when we think you need a decent system for recording who works there, where do they live, when did they start and what's their birthday, how much do you pay them and what is their notice period. Various important administrative things like holiday allowance, sick leave, these things that, to be honest, are not really interesting to keep recorded, but if you don't do it, you can quickly end up in a bit of trouble. We know that Excel is sufficient for a while, but it is very easy to make mistakes, to overwrite the spreadsheet, for different people to log in and mess it up, and we've seen that cause quite a lot of pain with various clients. So we think if you start with a system when you're around 10 people, if it grows with you and enables you to really, get it to 50 people or even 200 people, then you've got a system that's going to work for you. So, our top 5 requirements of a good system. Here they are. Is it easy to use? Does it have self-service? Does it manage your information so that it's always up to date and it's kept in a secure way? Does it cover off holiday and sickness requirements? And then, depending on your type of business, what about your wider HR needs? So we're going to look at these very quickly in this presentation. And actually, a system that does all of this well should be saving you administration time, which equals money. It should be providing you with better data on your staff, and it should enable you to grow. And as you grow, it should grow with you and not require a massive change of system. So here we go. Is it easy to use? We want to be working these days with interfaces that are really intuitive, that don't need a long user manual, and that people can just log in and get started. We're all used to Facebook, to Gmail, to all of these online systems, and none of them take any explaining. So we don't want our HR self-service system to need explaining. Then self-service. I really can't see the point of a program that can only be run by an HR administrator or an office manager sitting in their office. You've got to have a system that every employee can log in. And even better, they don't have to be in the office to do it. We're increasingly working in a mobile world where people want to book their holiday at the same time as they're booking their flight from their home computer over the weekend. So let's enable people to work as they want to. And finally, if it's self-service, it means that the requirement for accuracy is not on you as an employer, it's on the employee to tell you when they move house, when they're going to take their holiday, and we often see paperwork getting lost, stuck in an in-tray and not getting entered onto a system, so this just solves all of those problems. So, what about the quality of information that we've got? As I said, if people are entering their own details, if they've got it wrong, quite honestly, it's their fault. And we've seen time and time again payroll data that is not totally accurate because people have moved house or given the wrong bank details. Well, again, you don't want this to be your problem. And I have to say, one of the worst things is when you're writing a whole stack of pay rise letters to people, or a really important letter about changes to the company's legal entity or something like that, and actually you find out it's gone to their address of 6 months ago because nobody's keeping up-to-date records in the company. I have to say, that's quite embarrassing even for a small company. Okay, so number 4, does it manage holidays and sickness? Holidays, we know that people are quite good at making sure they get their entitlement, but one of the things that is a real waste of time is people coming knocking on the door and asking how many days they've got left. Did they really take that day when they said they were going to, but it got cancelled because work was so busy? This just eliminates a problem like that when you've got self-service. Again, with sickness, loads of small businesses don't actually monitor what it costs them. They don't identify patterns and sort out problems early, and that means that they can become bigger problems. It can encourage the Monday and Friday-itis that we like to avoid. And when we are monitoring it, when we know what it costs us, we'll actually be much more active around sickness. Payroll people will also be glad because it helps us to administer company sick pay if that's something that we pay. Finally, what about the wider HR needs? What does your business need? Every business is different. Whilst all of us need to look at the right to work issue, different companies want to do criminal record checks, record appraisals through a system online, record training needs, and those of you who've got employees who have to be CPD, regular input on CPD in order to stay professionally qualified, will need to be recording that somehow. So what suits your business? And we're not going to tell you that. You need to think that for yourself, but you do need to pick a system that fits and captures all of those areas. So when should you invest in a system? We've looked at our top 5 requirements for a system, and we think it is when the admin cost is higher than the cost of using a good self-service system. They're typically priced around £2 to £3 per employee per month, so you've got to do your calculations. But we think that for a company of 30 people, basic HR admin and entering holidays and processing holiday and sickness forms, it might take up to half a day per week, and that is really a saving straight away. The other side of it is when things go wrong or you've got incorrect data, it can be embarrassing. It can cause big problems. It can, actually cause you legal issues as well. So really think, when is the right time to invest in a system for the type of business that you are and the number of employees that you've got? Finally, we do have a recommendation for you. We really like the system that Access have brought out recently, aCloud HR. It's online, it's very simple to use, and we're going to just do another video that's going to give you opportunity to see a few screens from that. Not only does it work for if you've only got 5 or 10 employees, it enables you to scale right up to 200, 300 employees as well. So it gives you everything that you need. Thanks very much for your time.